Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? Back again with another daily Casper crypto live stream. I apologize for going live, not just for one late, but also failing to announce that I was going live late. It's been a bit of a day for me, which I do apologize for. But either way, we are back and we have got some very interesting sources to get through in today's stream. We've got some interesting Casper updates. We're seeing whales being very active today. You know, a lot of the top wallets scooping up a hell of a lot of Casper, 40 million Casper worth, which is insane. We are seeing continuous ecosystem developments as well. We're seeing the development of them dexes and some websites as well, which is also very interesting. We've got some Zebec updates as well, which is also very cool for those who are looking into Zebec right now. I understand some people like Cryptony very much is against that idea, and I understand why. Again, it's not everybody's cup of tea, and it's definitely not the same level of trust that I would give the likes of Casper, but Zebec also seems to be cooking more so as well. And then we do have equally some extremely important macro and fundamental news as well to get into. Ultimately, crypto is growing. We can see here from Dr. Martin Heidberg, Rappel's head of research here. For CFOs, the biggest barrier to crypto is price volatility. The thing they're currently so worried about still is the volatility of crypto. Now, of course, as this market matures more and more, which is going to continue doing over the coming years, they'll be more inclined to get involved. They don't want to miss out on this unique, once in a lifetime opportunity. If they don't, they'll fall behind. But the businesses, or the business use case for them, goes far beyond payments. So even though they're currently a bit haphazard of crypto because of price volatility, they see the overwhelming benefit to crypto for more than just payments, but for everything else as well. So in that regard, therefore, they're putting their worries aside, or starting to put their worries aside, to get involved and start adopting into this technology. We can see here from the pictures here, price volatility is the biggest barrier for crypto adoption. You can see here 43% of the reason why they're concerned about investing into crypto right now. Then you've got complexities around accounting and controls, lack of industry recognition of regulations, which is coming through quicker, security, lack of internal expertise, liquidity, tax considerations, and so on and so forth. And there's very few that have no concerns about crypto, which is understandable. And then we've got this one here. CFO says the business case of crypto goes beyond investment and payments, with 52% talking about supply chain tracking, which is something that we spoke about in the last video I made on Casper, where we were talking about that, and how the KRI are talking about the growing concerns within Europe right now. And with the growing concerns in Europe, we are seeing Casper potentially be a hedge against those regulatory overreach from EU and the potential fines they could end up receiving, as opposed to their supply chain they're auditing. So supply chain being a big part of it, cross-border transaction, of course, hedging, capital raising, payroll, and so on and so forth. So we are ultimately seeing that crypto is definitely here to stay. And even Dr. Martin Heidberg highlights here the biggest barrier to crypto investing is just simply knowledge, which of course we do share here daily and share in much more detail in the VIP continuously every single week. The age of YouTube, academics like the one from Uphold, and the flood of beginner-friendly books, there's really no excuse. Of course, they can learn a bit more about crypto. They could tune into these channels here or tune into the VIP and they learn more about crypto that way. But look, 49% of these top-tier investors and CFOs and whatnot, they have almost 50% of them have a lack of understanding of how crypto works. They have concerns about security and fraud. They don't know what or who's behind it or backing it, which that's understandable to something like Bitcoin, I guess, or Casper, because it is a fair launch project, decentralized, so therefore knowing who's behind it is everybody. But then you've got other centralized currencies that aren't necessarily as safe, but you should know who's behind those. You know, you've got your Ripple, for example, your XRPs. The people behind XRP would be Ripple, which would therefore be the likes of Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, David Schwartz, and the list goes on. You've got people like from Cardano, you've got Charles Hopkinson. You've got people from Ethereum, which would be Vitalik Buterin. So, again, it's not hard to find this information out, truth be told, but they haven't done the research yet. So it's knowledge, again. Lack of trust in crypto platforms, exchanges. Understandable, you should never trust a crypto exchange. Always have your own keys. Not your keys to crypto, have a cold storage wallet. And of course, then because they don't want to change up, they prefer traditional banking method. Now, of course, trad banks, TradFi is coming to crypto, and that will blend together. We'll be talking about them more in the VIP as well. But this, for me, again, is a testament to why we are still early. Well, the thumbnail of this stream says that we are still early, because crypto is here to stay, and this is how ahead we are still of institutions. Why they're still not here yet is because of volatility, and because they don't understand how it works. But that barrier is being slowly but surely removed, because they see the benefits of using it for businesses, for much more than just cross-border payments and everything else, for supply chain and much, much more as well. If you look at the market chart right now, we are still seeing a bit of a lackluster move within crypto off the back of the current news coming out. Of course, yesterday we saw no rate cuts, and also Jerome Powell stating that we are not going to be his speech was more hawkish than expected, so it did indicate that they still have no indication or no real wanting or desire to start cutting rates. They mentioned nothing about September, which is a bit unfortunate, but we have to understand as well that the September rate cuts that we've all been praying and hoping for, that was something that was pushed forward heavily by the likes of Scott Bessent and other, governmental officials. So the Fed themselves have never stated September. And there's also something very interesting as well, which I have vaguely explained to the VIPs, and I'll explain it probably more so to them in a moment, and vaguely here as well. But actually, with how the cycle's currently going, there is a real possibility that rate cuts might actually indicate a cycle top. And I'll explain a little bit more what I mean that here, and in a lot more detail to my VIPs later today as well, because we have seen it in history as well, truth be told. Now look at the market chart right now. Bitcoin still hovering around 117k, which is good, all things considered, still hovering around here, potentially preparing therefore for that push up very soon once a lot of the FUD's out of the way. Ethereum still at 3.75k, still holding strong around here as well. XRP still holding above $3 right now, and then Casper right now has seen continual pullbacks off the back of all of that. I mean, right now all alts are struggling. Sui to $3.70, say 30 cents, Tau $365, and so on and so forth, coming down more and more. Zebec as well has made these little pumps, which it managed to just reject at 0.006 yesterday before coming back down to where now it's currently at 0.0052, almost 53. And we'll talk about Zebec in a moment. While we look at Casper right now, we can see currently valued at 0.0091, so 9.1 cents, down roughly 2.99% on the daily time frame. It is still currently trading within this kind of new zone, if you will, this zone of between, well, originally it was traded between 10 and 9.5, and now it seems to come down between this 9.3 or so, this zone around here. It's still trading between these two levels of resistance right here, between the 10 and the 8.8 cents. It's got quite a large zone right now, and I suspect that it might continue this fashion. I'm hoping we can hold strong around this 8.8 cents here, as it has seen rejection in there. It has seen support found there already, and pushed up above that. But if the market continues to dump, which is possible with tariffs coming live tomorrow, and also the unemployment report coming live tomorrow as well, the job report coming live tomorrow, if it ends up being negative sentiment, that could cause further liquidations, more pullback in the market, and Casper therefore might decide it wants to come back down to this 8 cents here. I would hope and pray, absolute worst case for Casper in this current immediate short term, that Casper finds support and starts recovering anywhere above here. Because we've got a low here, and we've got a low here. Now, while we didn't form a higher high, we haven't formed it just yet. Again, it's still possible. We have to wait and see. We haven't found it just yet. So we could therefore be forming this sort of wedge pattern, if you will. It's a possibility we're forming a sort of wedge pattern right now. Which if we are, then that would therefore indicate that we'll continue trading within here for the next, foreseeable future before we end up making a more definitive move, which could happen sometime in the next few months. Although I'm not so much convinced on the wedge pattern, I'm also convinced on, again, the fundamentals that could trigger a more definitive move right now. And I think worst case I want to see for Casper, and I believe for Casper, is that it will potentially come down if August ends up being very bearish, which with Bitcoin still holding very strong, I'd be surprised of that, truth be told. But if you end up seeing it hold very, very strong, you'll see Casper maybe come back down and find support probably around this 6.5, this zone around here. So not coming down as far as this, therefore still forming a higher low. Although for me, as proven from history, Casper's very strong levels of support. As of right now, we can see on the two occasions where it did start consolidating very, very strong, was around here, just below 8 cents, around here and here. So I would believe that Casper continues to correct. We'll hopefully find support around here and then start making that consolidation towards that pump and hopefully then break out as well. But we'll get into all of that. Of course, the catalyst for Casper and the developments within crypto will have a big factor to play on that as well. And again, the next 2 or 3 days are still going to be very, very important, because we did have the macro data that came out today, the PCE inflation data, which is the Federal Reserve's preferred measurement of inflation. If you look at true inflation right now, it says that we're currently at 2.04%. So true inflation is saying something else to what the PCE is saying right now. PCE is saying currently right now that we are seeing inflation go up again, which is worrying considering that tariffs aren't actually in full force just yet. We're seeing it going up. Core PCE went up. It was at 0.02, went up to, so that it was at 2.5, I believe it was, and now it's gone up to 2.6. No, sorry, it was at 2.7. Core PCE was at 2.7, and it's gone up to 2.8, which is above expectations pretty much. Which means that we are now seeing the PCE inflation going up, and there's been 2 consecutive months of that as well, which is a bit of a cause for concern, and therefore does indicate a lower possibility of us seeing rate cuts. Because if inflation is going up, of course the Fed aren't going to cut rates, because that's going to cause more inflation. So if PCE going up, that is not reassuring at all. And also the unemployment claims as well, despite it being lower than expected, it still went up a little bit. So we're seeing more unemployment as well, which is actually not too bad, because if you see more unemployment, then the Fed will have to try and alleviate that by lowering the interest rate. So the unemployment is somewhat favourable for us, but the inflation is definitely not. And when tariffs go live, that could definitely have a more of a drastic effect on the markets. That's part of the reason why the market's correcting right now, on top of all the other macros we'll get into in a very short moment as well, this stuff here. But before we do, because I've been rambling on the whole time, let's welcome everyone back to the stream once again. So welcome back everybody once again to the Quick Crypto channel. Nathan, brother, welcome back first indeed. Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome back Falco, you too, bro. Yo to you too, my man. And Andy A today. I got a huge 85 more Casper. Keep stacking that bag, brother. Honestly, your conviction is second to none here, and I'm hoping that it will pan out very well for you. So keep going, my man. Kryptoni, yeah, you better apologize. Yeah, I do apologize. I'm sorry. I know it's very poor for me today. It's been one of those days. I'm sure everybody has them every now and then. But I'm sure that tomorrow will be a better day. Welcome back, Kill Quincy, bro. You're doing very, very well with that. And you too, Bingo Bango. What's up, my you, my man? Yo, Out Zero. You're doing very, very well. I would choose Qubit over Zebec, Jay. Cast my main bag. I mean, that's completely up to you again. No one's got to... Like, the whole premise of me and what I talk about is just assets that I'm looking into and I think are doing okay. You haven't got to believe me. In fact, you shouldn't straight up believe me. You should always do your own research. All we do here in these daily live streams is just provide information, provide sources, and then it's up to you to do the deeper dive information and look in more depth. I mean, I always do my best to make sure everything's legit and verifiable to try and build more trust. But again, it's always up to you to do your own research and make your own investment decisions. So if you want to get into the Zebec, that's perfectly fine. I'm not telling you to. I'm saying that I've got into it. I was talking about it with my VIPs with Casper God earlier. We were talking about seeing the bet coming back down to 0.0035, which is around here, which it just failed to reach that. So my buy order didn't get filled, but because I saw this consolidation phase happening here, I was anticipating a potential, breakout. So I bought around 0.003839, I believe it was. And of course we saw that breakout right now, which we did see the Zebec make a push up over 50%. It's now currently coming down right now, 3.05% on the daily time frame right now at 0.005271 or 771. And it looks like Zebec is now currently trading between these other levels of support. If you draw out these zones right now, we can see there's a resistance around here. Have you seen it kind of trade around here a little bit? It's quite hard for Zebec because there's a lot of price discovery right now. But equally, it's definitely a level of support around here. We can see that quite evidently right here already. So if Zebec can hold, that'd be very, very good. And Zebec's still very much forming those higher highs and higher lows, we can see from the pattern here. So provided there's nothing too drastic that happens, Zebec continue in that fashion going forward and continue forming that bullish trend going up, which means that Zebec could hopefully regain all-time highs very, very shortly. And actually, speaking of Zebec, they have got a lot of stuff coming out this year as well, and of course following that as well. Progress towards our 2025 compliance roadmap. We've been working hard behind the scenes to meet major regulatory milestones. This for me is a very big deal. While I don't, my you know, personal opinion regarding okay. For some reason, my YouTube studio is saying an error has occurred. I'm not entirely sure what's happened there. No one's having a problem watching the stream right now, are they? I don't see it, so okay. I don't know what my YouTube studio is doing right now. Either way, I'll continue. But the reason why I hold Zebec is not necessarily because I trust the project, because I've got proof of stake, you know. I wouldn't trust that per se. You know my perception on that because I'm a Casper holder. But I do believe that projects that are working closely with policymakers and you know, governments are in good favour and therefore could see more adoption. So we can see, you know, you got SOC, which is the final audit underway, completion expected by the end of August, so in 2 months from now. Zebec will have compliance with SOC2, which, for those who are unaware what SOC2 is, SOC2 is a security framework within the American Institution of Certified Public Accounts. So it's a big thing for you to get more regulatory clarity and compliance in America, or American institutions at least. Then you've got MiCA being Europe's one, of course. The white paper is under review right now, and the approval expected in September. So September looking very good for them. And then ISO compliance as well, which we know how big ISO compliance really is. It's expected by 2025, before the end of the year. So again, a lot of big things are coming for Zebec, which is great stuff. Security and compliance are essential for everything we build, with gate knocks, with making sure we meet the highest standards. That is great for Zebec. And again, why I believe that this cycle for Zebec could equally be a very big one. Now, how high it will go is really tough to say. Of course, you look at Zebec on CMC right now. You see Zebec right now is just short of a $500 million market cap. It's got 470 right now, which is good. It's rallying up higher and higher. I would like to believe, based on its current trajectory, maybe you could see it reach 2 billion, which would be a 4x from him, maybe even higher. Again, it's tough to say right now. They've got OKX listings, Mexi, BitGet, Gate, KuCoin, HTX, Crypto.com. It's got some big exchange listings. It hasn't got Coinbase, hasn't got Binance, but in saying that, I believe both are possible for Zebec. I do also believe Coinbase, because Coinbase are very closely working with the likes of Circle on the base chain and whatnot, and Zebec's biggest partners are the likes of JP Morgan, MasterCard, and Circle. So I think Coinbase are going to probably this cycle launch Zebec, especially as Zebec continues to build up more compliance, regulators and whatnot. They perceive as a better asset and therefore seeing more pumps. So Zebec, I think, is again something that I am looking into more. Not financial advice, you always do your own research, but I'm taking it as a hedge to make gains on Zebec and then potentially flip it into my conviction bags, being, of course, Casper. Welcome back, Lao bro, you're doing very, very well with that. And you too, Shy Leach, hey bro, watch prediction for Casper, this November, December. I don't do prediction anymore. I have been stopping doing that for quite a few months now. I think almost since the new year actually. I stopped doing price predictions. I'll say at the very least, I suspect Casper should have surpassed all-time highs by then. That's what I would believe at least. And yeah, I can see Pygos is now replying to ArtZero regarding to Cubic Coin, which I know that there are some people who aren't very convinced by Cubic Coin, which is fine. I did see in Shy's Telegram group people talking about it, and of course many just calling it a scam. That again, I'm not done research into it. Maybe I will. I have no real desire to right now personally. End of the day, if you can get into something, you can make money from it. Of course, for your own discretion. Be careful. Then it's fine. At the end of the day, if you make money, you make money. End of the day. So whatever you want to get into is completely up to you. I just make sure you do your own research and you're very, very careful. The fact that it's not on CMC yet or CoinGecko, every project's like that. The fact that you've told us numerous times they have a docs team, they're fair launch proof of work. It sounds great. Again, I'm not doing more research into it to look into it, but I'm just personally not looking at the project right now. That's just me personally. Maybe I'll miss out. Who knows? But some people do believe that it's not worthwhile. So I think it is. Again, we'll wait and see. Wallet 14, 30 million capital today. Yeah, so we'll get into that news right now here, actually, before we get into any more of the comments. So we have heard here, we can see from David, big players are still stacking Casper. Over 40 million Casper moved into top wallet in just 24 hours, with over 13 million Casper going to one singular address and not waiting for smart contract, listing or hype. They are front running Casper. We can look here at the top addresses right now. We currently got 537,568. It's come down a bit recently. You can see here the big wallets. Wallet 2 getting 13 mil more Casper, which of course we're going to do a little bit, deeper dive. Once more, we can see that the particular address coming from Gate here, and this transaction here was a total of 18 million Casper, so $1.6 million, 0.40 seconds, 0.000616 Casper. Very, very cheap, very, very quick, sending over $1.5 million, which is insane. Again, a testament to Casper's true speed and its superiority in that regard. You've got other inflows. You've got here from Wallet 8 seeing 1.2. You see some big outflows as well happening, but you've got 30 from Wallet 14, which is insane. Wallet 2 13, 3 mil here, and just short of 2, then another 1 mil here. So Wallet 14 hit very interesting. They got currently 160 million Casper. So they bought a big portion already. And we can see there's no real identifiable address that it came from, at least not that, unless I do deep dive research into it to find out. But we can see here, if you look again at the addresses, 0.52 seconds, very, very cheap. A total of it says total transacted here, so 3.4 million Casper. We know it was a lot more. The highlights here, it was 30 mil, so I'm not exactly sure why it's, because they've done it in each section, right? Do I need to go to wallet, go to 30 here? It should be okay. I guess because in numerous wallets going towards it, I need to go from these then. Okay, well, I mean, either way, you're seeing the sort of transactions going through, which is again really, really good. It does seem interesting. You're seeing the big whales, having 160 mil makes you actually a humpback. So then you're seeing the humpback addresses right now scooping up more and more. That has flipped drastically. It used to be sharks were dominating quite comfortably, and now the humpbacks have caught up considerably, which is easier for them, of course, because they've got more capital. But these big holders, normally, more often than not, they are like market makers or big exchanges. They can just be individual people, of course. It's always a possibility, but we're seeing it stacking more and more, which is interesting. 1 month ahead of smart contracts, ahead of any tier 1 listings, ahead of any stablecoin listings as well, all that sort of stuff. So it's interesting to see. And maybe a testament to what's to come very, very soon, as they're preparing for a big, big explosion for Casper. I think of the possibility. Again, I still think Casper is extremely early, only at 9 cents. It's undervalued by all means, and I think Casper is, I think for the most part, people are now kind of losing hope in Casper, which I actually think is probably the time to be the most bullish. Because Casper has everything there for it. It has nothing really to lose, in my belief. I think Casper's got so much in terms of developments, the smart contract, the stable coins, the adoption that's growing more and more. We're seeing here, this individual here, Alex, has built a social media platform on Casper which boasts no backend infrastructure, but instead pure decentralization. You can see where it looks like here. People literally like, any Twitter account or whatever it may be, fully on Casper, which is, I think something else is really, really cool. People might think it's insignificant, but at the same time, you're seeing more stuff happening. It will inevitably incentivize everybody to kind of just constantly be within the Casper ecosystem, within the Casper platform, keeping people involved in the ecosystem, which is great, and therefore seeing more adoption as well. Users are able to make a post by sending 1 Casper, comment by sending 0.5 Casper, and like each other's post by sending 0.1 Casper. It's early days, of course, and it may change to the fees and whatnot, but it's great stuff. And of course, the money that's spent here will be mined from the miners in the blocks as well. So it's great stuff all around, and a testament to more the developing more building coming to Casper, which is fantastic stuff. So, I mean, all 4 more building for Casper. Definitely, and you're seeing again the big whales get ahead of it. I think they equally have a good inkling or idea of potential price appreciation following smart contracts launching next month. We're literally 1 month away now. 31st of August is when we'll see smart contracts launch. So we've got a lot to look out for, honestly, which is something that we've got to keep a very close eye on, of course, very, very close eye on. I'm even seeing here Casper.com. We've got Zeta Swap being a DEX, you've got other ones being a DEX. I think KFC is one of them as well. You also now got Casper.com as well. They have now launched their DeFi public testnet. Swap, lend, and borrow tokens seamlessly and securely. The more you test, the more feedback you provide, the more points you earn. Casper.com also now cooking as well, which is fantastic news. You can see the quality's got a bit better now, but this is all ahead of smart contracts launching. So it's good stuff, great stuff even. So we'll see more of this sort of stuff as smart contracts are launching, and the kind of the FOMO around Casper starts building up once again. And that will, of course, help in the price appreciation for Casper as well, which lackluster right now. But you see more continual volume and development and investment coming back to Casper, your marathons will start actively talking about Casper more, your Binances will start listing Casper more, the FOMO will come back, and then Casper will shock people. I still believe that much right now. As you look at Casper right now on CMC, when it does load up at least, you can see Casper right now is currently, what, number 42 I believe, after the current corrections. PC being slow as always. Number 41 still. Volume currently is around any day now. Volume's currently around 73.87 million. Still lackluster. 2.4 billion market cap, and again being dominated by the likes of Gate. BitGet staying up there around 10.5%. Mexi is coming down a bit. We're seeing, you know, kind of holding steady once again. Still very boring for Casper, but sometimes boring is best. For us, I think we kind of know what's coming to Casper and crypto. And as a result of that, there should be times we're looking to scoop up more DCA and buy more, which is, you know, why I continue to be bullish on Casper. We know what's coming. We do. And we know what's coming in regards to the space as well. This being a big thing as well, we just covered. We've got the fact that SEC have now launched Project Crypto, aiming to transition all markets on-chain. That is fantastic news. Absolutely major news. So now all markets, inevitably, we've been talking about it anyways, everything's going to come on-chain. But now the SEC have launched Project Crypto with the aim to transition all markets on-chain. So once more, we're going to see much more. This is one of the biggest regulatory shifts we've seen in ever. Literally ever. It's fantastic news. And we can even then see here, whilst all fantastic news, this could potentially have some repercussions, as Dr. Martin Hyperwerk highlights here. He made a post yesterday talking about potential big backlash coming to Ethereum, right? This whole thing is like the confluence of publicly listed companies acquiring Ethereum without the deep understanding of its underlying technology or the broad blockchain ecosystem, coupled with a significant increase in individuals borrowing money to purchase stocks, presents a concerning set of indicators that could signal an impending market top. And I think there is a possibility of that as well. Ultimately highlighting in this post from Dr. Martin Hyperwerk that there are some big public companies, the likes of SharpLink, Bitmine, Tom Lee's company, who are acquiring a lot of Ethereum very recently, but not for its fundamental utility, but more so for speculative reasons. The fact that you've got Bitcoin and Michael Saylor's Bitcoin strategy and MicroStrategy, who are buying up Bitcoin, they're like, oh, you can do it with Bitcoin, we'll do it with Ethereum now. But Bitcoin is, well, the understanding of Bitcoin I still think is very lackluster, as proven here as well. Understanding of crypto is very lackluster, but Bitcoin again is halving cycle. You mine it, store value. Those are the kind of the three key points in a sense for a very big noob to understand about Bitcoin. With Ethereum, there's more to it. Now, I'm not saying Ethereum is better, that's not the point anyway, but there's more to it in the idea of its value being directly linked to its ecosystem. And more big companies are now trying to get into Ethereum because they missed out on Bitcoin, so they want to get into Ethereum, and they don't understand the technology behind it. The fact that it is got infinite supply, that it's very expensive for gas fees and whatnot, and also not scalable anyway, so it kind of just fails at the kind of basic understanding principles of it. You're still seeing more investment into Ethereum anyways, and people are now just getting into it. The general buzz around it, they're inflating the price of Ethereum, inflating stock prices. They're trying to see it. So I think some investors are still seeing it as a get-rich-quick scheme. Despite the space maturing and it's kind of shifting away from that, slowly but surely, there's some who still believe it as a get-rich-quick scheme and not seeing it for what it is, which is to use it for businesses and for actual forms of payments, which that's going to shift in this cycle going to the few years to come. I know that. The VIP information we cover every single week proves that. Is going to see a big shift coming very soon. But, a long-term bet on the future of decentralized applications and smart contract infrastructure, or a strategic alignment with Ethereum-based innovation, a critical analysis reveals a potential more speculative motive. So some seem to not view it as a long-term thing, but just, again, to kind of make a get-rich-quick scheme in a sense as well. So it's a bit of a weird one right now, and this potentially could indicate, again, that cycle top. And that also, for me, is something I'm going to combine with the with the market top regarding rate cuts. So what I mean by that, there have been times in the past where you see, again, we're doing well right now in the crypto market, all things considered, without rate cuts. So there might now be the investor sentiment switching and flipping to, we need rate cuts, to, we're fine without rate cuts, but if you then get rate cuts, that's an indicator that the economy is now in trouble. Because rate cuts are normally done when the economy is weakening, and you need to therefore lessen the pressure on the economy and start injecting liquidity to help strengthen it again. So we want that to help boost investment into on-risk markets, so into altcoins, into crypto, into Caspers and whatnot, and it still would do that. But I do believe that if we don't get rate cuts in September, which if you look at CME Fed Watch, as I load it up right now, you can see right now there is decreasing possibility now of us seeing rate cuts in September. It was 45% yesterday, now at 39%, it's going down. If we don't get that in September, then you look to October or December, which October says we should be seeing at least one. December suggests that we should be seeing 40% of at least one rate cut and 33% of at least two. But if we get no rate cut in September, and therefore we end up seeing in October and December, that's a possibility that, you know, the Fed's finally positioned to say, okay, now the economy is starting to weaken, we don't think we can hold off anymore, we're going to start cutting rates. And that may cause a very, very short, brief injection of liquidity before then investors start worrying about the weakening economy, and they go back to the risk off markets, being your gold, and getting out of crypto. Now, again, that's speculative. I have to wait. We'll see what's happening. Still got a lot of major catalysts coming through for the rest of the cycle. For Q4, you know, got massive stuff for the crypto space, equally for Casper as well, with their KRI launching their projects, with their potential tier 1 listings, potential stablecoins coming online at that point as well, if I like to speculate. Igra Labs, mainnet going live around that time as well. So you've got a lot of big things coming for Q4 for Casper, no doubt. But rate cuts could end up being the reverse of what we expect, where rate cuts normally mean market go up or altcoins go up because it brings more possibility of investment into on-risk markets. It may indicate a market top and come down. So I have to keep a close eye on that, and I'm going to explain it in more detail to my VIP so they know what I'm talking about. But right now, the markets are just kind of in that once more uncertain limbo of not knowing where to exactly go. Alts are still very much, I mean, the big caps, your Ethereum, your XRPs, they're holding strong and nearing all-time highs. Bitcoin equally all-time highs. Your mid caps are kind of just limboing. You know, Sui's down like 40% or so, 35%, 30% from all-time highs. Tau, similar to Casper, still down quite a lot from its all-time highs. 53%. Casper's down similarly, about 55% right now from all-time highs. Well, 20 down to here is 55% from all-time highs. Still got a lot more room to run. And again, these mid caps and micro caps have a much more volatile takeoff when it does come through. But again, we have no idea when that'll come through. We expect it in the next few months, but you've got a while to wait. Now, I'll answer some questions in a moment. Before I do that, I want to get to the last few major points, which is talking about, again, the frustration from Trump regarding Jerome Powell and his perception of him just playing politics. He's too late, too angry, too stupid, too political, not cutting rates. And to be fair, there are more and more people now who are agreeing with Trump, or agreeing that we should be seeing rate cuts right now. I see an interview with BlackRock CIO, Chief Investment Officer, who's saying we should be seeing rate cuts soon. Some other Fed officials being, forgetting their names now. Yeah, well, when the Fed rate cuts were, denied, eventually at the recent FOMC meeting, 2 Fed officials said we should be seeing them, and those 2 have been increasingly apparent, and then saying we need to see rate cuts now. So you're seeing more and more, you know, high net worth, powerful individuals who are saying, you know, why we're not getting rate cuts now, we don't know. You know, all the other monetary policies around the world, they're cutting them. Why is the Fed not doing it? They typically are too late, historically speaking. So Trump's not happy about that, understandably. But then, of course, with inflation now seemingly rising, maybe Jerome Powell is right to hold off still, with tariffs now coming back. Apparently, tariffs for Trump, he said he's made a trade deal with Pakistan to offer South Korea to buy down the 20% tariff, which, again, this is his word for it, but that's true. That could be a big deal, maybe cause more inflation. Again, we don't know, we have to wait and see. And then we equally got this other one here, which for me is actually I think this is actually part of the reason why the markets are correcting today, because apparently Trump says that the US and Mexico have agreed to extend their current tariff agreement by another 90 days. So it looks like things are going okay there. But we're seeing that some tariffs it's almost on the understanding that these tariffs are temporary. And one thing we know that markets hate is uncertainty. Markets hate uncertainty. Despite that this trade deal is still ongoing, another 90 days, another 3 months of it, it's the tariffs, when they are launched and when they are changed, are seemingly like China got extended, fantastic. A 90-day extension, so they haven't got tariffs like properly just yet, but that will come through. Mexico have extended 90 days, but why is it not a permanent thing? The temporary measurement of it is what I think is causing investors to be very, very uncertain right now, and that's causing more lackluster investment into the market right now. So Mexico will continue to pay in their 25% on fentanyl tariffs, on cars, 50% on steel, aluminium, and copper, and they've agreed to immediately terminate its non-tariff trade barriers. So while seemingly great for America, and I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be great for America in that regard, it does again, because they are still very flexible and temporary. I don't think that's great for the markets right now. But we'll see what happens again. Tomorrow for me will be probably the biggest make or break moment for this current week, being we'll get the job reports coming out tomorrow. It happens every Friday of the new month, plus tariffs being reinstated. So that could be a very, very big day, and potentially set up what we're going to see in August, which August for me, we could see it be lackluster, and then September being very good. If we end up seeing August being very, very good, then I think September will be good, and then you'll probably see a potential quicker correction. We'll have to wait and see, of course, whether we're going to see a Q4 market top, or whether it be 2026 again. All we do know is that when this altcoin cycle takes off, it's normally very, very quick, 2-3 months, and then it immediately starts reversing. So we'll have to pay a close eye on it. If you want to know more about crypto and Casper, get ahead of the game, of course, check out the free community and equally the VIP. A lot more detail in there as well, keeping you all up to date as well. Link down in the description, and also my homepage as well. Or check out, or get extra benefits, level up your trading game with BYDFI, an affiliate that we're working with as well. Also links down in the description as well, and also in my Discord server as well. We should move this August or September. Right now, if I'm to hazard a guess, I'd say September, but again, that could change very quickly. What's the Bitcoin chart annoying? I mean, Bitcoin is holding strong, which I think is actually good. I prefer Bitcoin holding strong here than coming down, because it indicates that, again, it's still showing some form of strength, and like it's holding support levels, and therefore wanting to make this move up more so than anything. I don't hold any Zebec either, but I do have to give it that it has decent listings. Yeah, I mean, Zebec has got some good listings, which is good for it. And I'm just talk about Qubit and Zebec again. Rumunia, not yet being Hong though, but hopefully very, very soon. What's up, Corey, bro? You're doing very, very well. Second Zebec and Casper, my two biggest holdings. Still 7% Casper. Love to hear it, bro. Keep stacking that bad, man. What is Zebec? Zebec is some like AI-based. It's AI-based. Well, it says right here, AI-based pay-fi and reward assets. They're basically working on payroll. So the idea of when you get your paychecks from your jobs once a month or every 2 weeks, depending on where you work and how frequently they do it. The idea is that with companies like Zebec, what they're trying to achieve is to be able to get paid every day, immediately, without the hassle. So they're targeting a very crucial industry, an $11 trillion industry actually, and they're getting the compliance ready so they can, be more solidified in this space, which is good for them. Welcome back, Double D, bro. You're doing very, very well. Unemployment plus 40%, yes. Unemployment is also going up a little bit as well, which is it does mean the Fed have to keep that in mind. If they don't want to end up seeing more unemployment, they have to start cutting rates, but the PCE is also not looking very good right now. Can you check on CMC fake sharp link gaming? That will be the funniest chart you'll see. Oh yeah, I did see you posted that in the Discord server, brother. Yeah, sharp link. It does look a very, very fake sharp link gaming. It looks very, very dodgy, this chart. I don't know who's in it right now, but it looks like the biggest pump and dump scheme I've ever seen. Every time it pumps up to 20, it gets sent straight back down to nothing. I don't know who's holding this. It looks like it's making that next rally up right now, meaning it should reach $20 again. But yeah, I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole. That is ridiculously that to me looks like an evident scam, rug pull. So that's crazy. Are you buying Casper, or now you have enough? I never have enough Casper. I'll always scoop up more whenever I can do. With my questions right now, wow, I've missed a lot of questions. What's going on here? Kraken has done some big Casper investments from 14 mil to 135 mil in a few days. Yeah, Kraken are currently cooking, so I think they're preparing for something big very, very soon as well. I mean, these exchanges talk to each other, you've got to remember that. So if they're buying a lot, maybe something big is coming very soon. Can you check the page of wallets buying Casper? I did just do that earlier on, but I'll showcase it right now as well. You can see here, that's current, top 10, whether they're buying or selling. You can see the sales happening right now, 11.7 million out of gate, 6.5 out of wallet 278, 3 from KuCoins and stuff as well. And then you see the ones coming in. You've got 30 mil coming in from wallet 14. You got wallet 2, which bought 30 mil out of gate, and we've seen some stuff coming through as well. So the big account we've seen from 8, from 9, from 2, from 6. A lot of the big wallets buying a lot as well, which is a sign that maybe something big is coming very, very soon. Again, they're preparing like that. Is the Zebec ready launched? No, it's not. That's again why you've got to be very careful, do your own research. I think it's probably got VC backing. Well, yeah, it's your crypto company, right? Same thing as your XRPs and your XLMs and your XDCs and whatnot. They're a crypto company. But again, I've invested into some crypto companies because I do see it as they're working with policymakers. They'll get market shares as a result of it, and they'll get investments. That's why I'm getting into them. What's up, Greg, bro? You're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the stream, my man. A few hours age, I was an Uber Eats app. I look at a burger and I should buy a burger or Casper. I mean, if you're hungry, always feed yourself. But if you want to buy more Casper, then by all means go for that as well, I want to enter in Zebec, but wait for retracement. I mean, right now Zebec, for me, I think it's at a support level right now. If it does lose a support level around this 0.0052, which you can see here being quite a critical level of support, it will come back down to this zone down here at 0.005 again. And that might be an entry. You saw what happened here as well. So it could be an entry down here. Otherwise, then we'll have to wait and see. Again, it could still, it could still be forming that. It might end up preparing for a pullback. Therefore, it'll probably come back down to 0.0045 down here if it does see a pullback again. So the entry levels for Zebec right now, if it does continue following this bullish trend, this higher low pattern, then it should end up finding support at rebounding. Probably worst case, I'd say, would be around here, so 0.0043. But otherwise, you can see rebound there, and equally rebound here. But yeah, of course, do your own research, trading discretion. There are multiple entries for this asset right now, I think. Yeah, definitely wait for a trade. If you try and do it right now, I think you'll be top blasting it. Honestly, I think you might see some more pullbacks in the short term, especially if these tariffs do cause more FUD in the markets. Don't throw it in indefinitely. But an alt to getting Binance testing before Casper, that would be truly unfortunate. But again, crazy things have happened. Crazy things have happened. What's up? Yeah, go off F, baby daddy, big cods for checking in. Welcome back, bro. You're doing very, very well, man. Also, I did disconnect, apparently. Okay, so I don't know why that happened. I think everyone here is still chilling, so it's all good. How can we not know who 100% Wallet 2 is? Because they haven't showed us, unfortunately. It's frustrating, but we'll find out. The next leg up is a final pump for Bitcoin, in my opinion. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Again, we haven't got any confirmed signs of that right now. We're still keeping a close eye on it. It might be the last pump. You might see more coming through. Again, we've got to just keep playing it by ear effectively. Welcome back, Buffalo, bro. You do very, very well, my man. Welcome back to the stream, my man. What's up, you two on the check-in, LB? Welcome back again, my man. Can you link the decentralized social media platform? I will be providing all links to this information. I'll be retweeting this stuff on my Twitter, which the link to my Twitter is here. x.com/quickcrypto with a 1 and a 0. Or I'll be reposting this in my Discord server as well. So I will definitely link that. I can't link it in here. YouTube doesn't let links in this in the chats for whatever reason. But I'll link this stuff in my Discord server and on my Twitter as well. So you can check it out there, brother. Your Crypto Crew has made another good video about Bitcoin mining and its declining rewards. Well, there you go. I mean, again, Bitcoin mining is in Bitcoin's, store of value element. It's the video we covered yesterday with Jack Dorsey. Like it's gonna lose that incentive to get into Bitcoin with depreciating the rewards for mining it. So Bitcoin could therefore be in trouble. Bitcoin's dominance as well. Yeah, we can check that real quickly as well. You can see Bitcoin dominance right now. It's currently at 61.64%. It's starting to make a small rally back up. And again, whether it's going to continue running in this fashion or go below the trend line, again, we'll have to see what pans out in the coming weeks ahead. We still haven't got SEC filings yet for ETFs, which could still be a big liquidity injection for the markets and altcoins as well. So we've still got many more catalysts to look out for. So I'm not too worried about the markets just yet, but I am starting to look a little bit more towards take profit areas. Post pump on smart contracts, I believe so as well. We'll see a pump probably on smart contracts as well. Talk about Wyatt, bro, you do very, very well. Teaching Bitcoiners about Bitcoin and Casper on X is hard as AF. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Some people are very stubborn about that, and it's understandable. But sometimes I think it's always worth trying to teach people. And it's kind of what we do here every single day. But some people who just won't want to listen, you got to, you know, take your losses to kind of move on. If they don't want to learn, they don't want to learn. In the end of the day, there'll be heavy adoption within the next 4 years. Definitely top 5 in the next half. I mean, yeah, I think so. I think next 4 years are going to be, you know, we're going to see this market significantly shift. You know, if crypto's here to stay, we're going to see it absolutely explode in the coming years from now. XRP and central projects will likely dominate with banks. Oh, I believe so as well. That's kind of the reason why I'm holding them. I think they've currently gone in with the central banks and the government, so they're going to do very, very well. It's then that Casper will become much more recognizable with its decentralized mechanism, with its DAG-Knight, with its ZK opcodes, that will end up starting to generate more eyes and, you know, wandering attention from the institution and banks who realize they can do what they can do what they do with XRP, but for cheaper and quicker and decentralized, therefore more secure as well. The only thing that I stated about the benefit of having a crypto company behind it, the only thing I could say is that if there's an issue with the XRP ledger, you contact Ripple to fix it. If there's an issue with Casper, because it's decentralized, yes, you contact the core team, but who do you realistically contact to fix Casper as an issue? You haven't got any, you know, because it's decentralized, but you haven't got any focal point for that. That's the only potential reason why I've given, the only logical reason I can give why banks would prefer to stay with a centralized project like XRP, because you have someone you can contact as an issue. But with Casper, you haven't got that. Now, again, I think that's a temporary measure that will change inevitably when Casper ends up growing more and more, but we'll have to wait and see. Welcome back, KJ Eyebrow, you're very, very well. Let's go in D. How does that make sense that crypto is risk on when crypto is definitely risk off? I mean, it's not, because crypto is extremely volatile. I mean, look what's happening right now. Stock market right now is down 0.37%. Bitcoin's down 3 times more than that. Casper's down 3. Like, risk on means highly volatile. Well, that basically just means risk on means volatile. That's all that means. Risk off means when there's an issue, you go to that. Gold is risk off. That's why gold is, you know, it doesn't move too much. And then when there's an issue, like if there's a financial collapse, you go back to gold. Because it's been a historically renowned store of value. People know about gold. Crypto is a new thing. People aren't very sure about Bitcoin or crypto, so it's perceived as risk off. That will change, but you have to wait and see. CEO of Marathon is Fred Thiel. Yeah, Fred Thiel, and he's also publicly spoken about Casper to Forbes about his statement on it and how he finds it interesting. Power structure, BIS, Fed, BlackRock, US government, yeah. They all control the world, so you've got to get the attention from them. Now, Casper does have some ties, seemingly, loose connections, seemingly, to the likes of BlackRock, thanks to Marathon, like to US government, thanks to apparently donating Casper to Trump's administration, according to Tom Polinsky. But whether that pan out to anything or not, we'll have to wait and see. Welcome back, Gosu Bro, you did very well, brother. Welcome back to the stream, my man. We've got a question right now. I don't think there'll be an alt season this year, but also no major dump in alts 2026. Maybe not. Maybe not. Again, it's tough to say right now. I have to keep a close eye on things. I'll be providing information, of course, in these streams and in a lot more in-depth information in real time based on institutional information to my VIPs as well. If you want to get more information and get ahead of the game, as always, check out the VIP. We're doing trades in there, private live streams, educational information, and alpha information doc as well from the institution. Find that all out. Link up in the description and on my homepage as well. 7-day free trial or 1 month free trial with BYDFI. Kraken is buying cheap for other exchanges to get ready for less. Also possible. Also very possible. I think we can see Casper flying up ahead of smart contracts just like KYC 20. Potentially. The FOMO going in, there's a possibility. I won't be against it. Another scam comment. I can make sure I'll quickly quickly just ban that. But yeah, I need to honestly just need to block the accounts, or as I'm sure I've already been told now, to get a mod in to do that for me. Which yeah, I do need to. I've just been a bit of a month for me. Although saying that, I think tomorrow actually marks my 1 year. Actually, yeah, tomorrow marks my 1 year straight of streaming. Well, not straight. I've had some days off, unfortunately, but yeah, tomorrow's 1st of August means I would have started streaming. I would have been doing streaming for a whole year then. So tomorrow hopefully will be a big day for us. I'm hoping with Trump tariffs going live, with the unemployment data coming through. Hopefully, that'll be very, very big, and then the 1 year will be a memorable time for all of us. I've got a low on Zebec at 0.038ish, which is the 0.618 fib from the low. Yeah, that's kind of where I was looking at as well. And actually where I got in as well. I was trying to look for a little bit low as well. What do you think of TAO? Will it go into next year, considering the TAO halving is happening in and around December this year? I think when you see the AI, the hype around AI has died off a little bit, hence why TAO has been very lackluster. I think the AI boom is going to come back. If TAO can be a part of that discussion, then it will do very, very well. It's still one of the biggest AI projects, so I think it can do very well. In regards to the halving, we have to wait and see. I haven't been keeping close tabs on TAO recently, truth be told, so I'm not entirely sure. I think TAO's peg to AI is a big factor that can help it do well. But we have to wait and see. Bitcoin succeeds because there's no central foundation and is a real currency. I mean, yes, but you've got to also keep in mind how the world has always worked, which is big corporations want to remain in control. Bitcoin just gives you control. It gives you the individual control, but they want to keep control over you. Now, in saying that, I still believe Bitcoin is succeeding and Casper will succeed as a result of that, but we cannot deny the evidence that is there that these big corporations, the BIS, the World Economic Forum, the IMF, the governments, they all want to have control over you. That's what Europe is doing right now. So in that regard, they do whatever they can do to remain in control. So them adopting a centralized currency or corporation like Ripple, which they can control Ripple, might be, for their ideology, better for them than trying to adopt a decentralized currency. Maybe. But again, that could definitely shift. If Casper is too big to ignore, they'll shift. Precisely what I was saying as well. You know, there are definitely devs and builders who, you know, work on that, but like I said, if XRP or XLM or Cardano has a problem, you call up the founder, you call up the people who are like the company behind them. If XRP or if Ripple, if Kaspa or Bitcoin has a problem, I mean, you call, you know, you guess you message Michael Sutton or Sompolinsky, but you haven't got a direct like line. There's no centralized person behind Casper. So it's up to the community to fix it, basically. So do I. I agree with that as well. I don't think institutions want to see a big dump. They want to see a continual slow rally up. But I do believe so as well. I do honestly believe that proof of work eventually will end up on top, especially with Casper kind of leading the way, proving its speed, scalability element, while still be decentralized as well. But anyways, with that being said, family, I apologize for going live late and being very radio silent today, but that being said, that'll be for today's Casper Crypto live stream. If you enjoyed the stream, always leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. If you want to know more about crypto and Casper, check out the free community. Link down in the description on my homepage as well. Also the VIP. Have a great day, good evening, good night, my family, and I'll see you all in the next one for tomorrow, the 1 year stream, hopefully a big one. See you then. Take care now.